Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 20 of the Quick Resume podcast. I am Deck. I am Deck. I'm joined by Tim. Hi, Tim.
Yeah.
How's it going, buddy?
Hi, Deck. If you guys don't know our names by episode, wait, what episode did you say it was 20?
It's 20, man.
We're at the big 20. We're at the big 20.
Yeah.
That's pretty hype. Yeah, so you should know our names by now. But yeah, I'm Deck and he's Tim. So
I go back. I go back and forth on like where to put in like gamer tag in the intro. So today I just said my name twice. I didn't say it at all.
I'm Deck and I'm Deck.
I'm Deck and I'm a Deck.
I'm done giving out my gamer tag because people just send me hate mail. So
yeah. I've been told to jump off a bridge 3 times.
No way, and you're still here.
And I haven't done it. Yeah, I haven't given it in. No.
But yeah, no. How are you, man? You good?
How am I? I mean, as you know, I've been down with the flu geese for the last week. No COVID. We're COVID clear in this household. But I have had a bit of a flu for the last week, so I haven't been at work, and I've still got a bit. So like literally straight after our episode last week, I was like, something feels wrong. Something doesn't feel right. So I'm like on the back end of that. I've still got a bit of a cough, but I'm feeling a bit like spaced out because my sleep's been all disrupted. But other than that, good. It has given me a bit of time to play some video games.
Whoa.
Don't know if you know what they are. They're a little thing that you get addicted to.
Yeah, we talk about them sometimes as well.
Sometimes that happens. The whole addicted thing, that was a joke. Ignore that. So I've been playing a lot. I played Death's Door. I completed Mass Effect. That's been quite the undertaking. That's been going on for months. You're bloody tired of me bringing it up in every episode. I played a bit of Art of Rally. You don't know what that is. I'm too cool to play all these big boy games. Who plays COD? What's COD? I play Art of Rally. So there's that, and then I just touched on a load of little stuff because I've just been like generally sweating out in bed, just like flicking between games. What about you, man?
So I could just imagine you just sitting in a pool of sweat playing Death's Door.
Literally. I played for 10 minutes and I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I need to swap games.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. My week's been kind of chill. I'm feeling a little bit rotten today. Because I hadn't played cricket for like 2 weeks, and then I played yesterday, and I'm so sore. Like, I can barely move. Just taking a week gap, really, your body just like, oh, I'm a couch potato again. You know, like it thinks it's winter. And I went back into it, and I can barely move. And then I went on like a massive dog walk today, and I really racked up like 9,000 steps. So I'm a little bit shot, but
it's crazy. You lose your fitness at 5 times the rate that you gain it. How fucked up is that? 5 times.
That's stupid. Yeah, so you could literally just like kill it for like two days straight and do so much, and then have like order
half
of
day
Dominoes, and you're just fucked. It's so unfair.
It's so unfair.
But so I'm feeling a little bit tired, a little bit sore, but the sort of the week was pretty standard. Playing a lot of Apex. I did boot up Hades for like half hour this morning and played it a little bit in bed. I'm still tossing up whether or not I wanna really blitz it again, because I've really just done everything in that game on the Switch. But there's a part of me that still wants to do it again on the Xbox. But yeah, I'm still kind of tossing up.
Fat Chivos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Fat Chivos. Yeah.
Does it like feel any different? I kept meaning to. I've installed it. I haven't booted up on Xbox though. Does it feel any different?
It does feel different. Yeah. Looks wise, I haven't really noticed anything too much between the Switch and that one. I don't know if it is. I'm sure it is running at a higher resolution and stuff like that, because obviously the Switch is 720, which I mainly played it handheld at 720. So
I didn't see it in any of the advertising though. I didn't see like 4K mode or anything. So
I'm sure it's 1080, which is still an improvement over the Switch. I mean, I guess it would have been 1080 if I docked my Switch, but I mean, who does that? Who like how many people really dock their Switch unless it's your only home console?
I don't know. I do
Um,
sometimes, but yeah.
I really don't dock it like at all. I can't remember the lot. I don't even think I. Yeah, I can see it right now. I can see my dock down there. I don't have it plugged in.
Oh right, I've
Like,
always got it plugged in, but because I've like it's for like you want to have it plugged in most of the time if you've got people coming around often. That's
yeah,
I think
party
why.
games and shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But yeah. So I did dabble in that. It's just a little Sunday morning. Lazy. I woke up in bed and played it a little bit.
Sorry, I was just to say it is apparently 4K 60 on Series X, S, and PS5.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I didn't play it. I literally think I did like one run. Got past Megira, and
Gira.
and then failed on one of the levels leading up to the Hydra. But yeah. So I'm still kind of tossing up whether or not I actually want to get back into that. But I do need to do Death's Door first, especially as you're now catching me up on that, which is embarrassing considering you did the whole Mass Effect trilogy first. But we'll ignore that.
Yeah,
And
actually, to be fair, I just wanted to start like say for the audience because like we never they're probably picking up on the pattern, but there's like an ongoing joke that Tim cannot finish. He cannot finish games apart from Max Curse of the Brotherhood. Please don't throw that back in my face.
One night,
that's
mate.
one night.
One night.
Such an accomplishment. So I mean, we're here for you, man. We want to see you do it. We want to see you succeed. We're here for the
I mean,
success.
I think the issue with me is when obviously I've said this before is when we all get on, we sort of all get on at a very similar time frame. So then we play these multiplayer games together, and then I don't know, I get lazy sometimes, and I'm just like I'd rather watch TV than like boot up a single player game and play that sort of thing. I don't know, that sounds really
Which is
stupid.
what I don't do.
Yeah, exactly. Because playing a game is really not that much effort. Let's be honest. But I don't know. My brain just
No, I get you. No, I get you. I don't think you're alone. Like with that, I think other people definitely are like, oh god, like the effort. What even happened on the last story thread? Like, oh god.
Yeah. So yeah, there's still a couple things obviously on my list, Resi and Death's Door. I'll probably do Death's Door first because I could literally, if I just spent like 2 days playing that at 3 hours a day, I'm done with it. You know, like I've already sunk a few hours into it, and if I do a few more sessions like that, you know, I'm done. Um, and yeah, no, that's kind of basically been my week. Just playing more Apex and still enjoying it. So yeah.
Wicked. I mean, I did want to like quickly go over like my final impressions of Mass Effect. And I think on previous episodes when we spoke about it, you've said you had played the first one, maybe not to completion, but you played a lot of the first one back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I am so grateful that I got to play this game. And I just mean that because it just was a bit before my time. I mean, I was into Xbox. You know, I got my first Xbox in like 2006 or whatever, so it was around the Mass Effect time. But you know, I just played COD and Halo or whatever. Like I was never really into because I was quite young. But it truly is like one of the best trilogies I've ever played, and it was so far ahead of its time in how it did. Like dialogue branching and how those story decisions carried over to other games, and it managed to give you like a fully voiced character that you know you made decisions and the whole Paragon and Renegade thing. It's just rather than like a blank slate character, you know, and all that stuff's just so impressive. And I just don't know how they did it 3 times in a row. If I had to score each game like individually, I think I'd give the first one an 8, Mass Effect 2 9.5, and Mass Effect 3 a 9. Overall, the trilogy is comfortably a 9 or above. Honestly, I think it's kind of pointless. Somewhere between the 9 and 10 spectrum, just depending on how much. If I'd put more time into it, I probably would have put it at a higher score because there's just so much there, and like a lot of like the story elements, which is maybe a pro and a con, but like a lot of the story elements literally depend on how much time you put into it. Like for the third game, it's like you're building an army and you have like a number, like a counter, like this is how many resources you have, and you have like a minimum before you can start the final set of missions. And the more you get, the less likely are there's people that will die. So it's that sort of thing. But there's just so much, and there was not like a single point in any of the games really where I was playing. I thought that was a bad bit of writing, or like that was a bad bit of voice acting. It was just so good throughout. And I think I said in earlier episodes, the cover system was kind of shit in 1 and 2, but it's a lot better in 3. And the combat generally was pretty good throughout. Like I thought it was quite fun, even if it was got a bit powerful. I don't know if it's just the class I chose, but I was just like kind of busting through everyone in the third game, which I didn't care because it was fun enough where it worked. That's not to say I never died, but it was just like it's no biggie.
Did you pick the telekinesis boy? Did you?
Yeah, Vanguard. So it's like
the magic-y kind of.
Sort of, yeah. So the 3 pillars is essentially like guns, tech, and biotics. And biotics is biotics is like the telekinesis stuff, and Vanguard is there's then like hybrid classes. So there's like, you know, a soldier and a tech, or a tech and a biotic, or a tech and a soldier. Yeah, you know what I mean. So and Vanguard was the middle point between soldier and biotics. So it's like shotguns teleporting around the place, pulling people towards you, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing trilogy, and I think I said to you the other day, I thankfully didn't experience like the original ending because what I had, from what I understand, included like the DLC that came after Mass Effect 3, which like plugged a lot of holes. Because from what I understand, the biggest problem that people had was like the ambiguity with the ending, not necessarily that it was bad, it's just it didn't tie a lot of holes in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it was cool, yeah. Like the final, like sort of choice was really cool, and I was just really content with the ending. The only thing, as I said, I think the cover system was a bit shit in 1 and 2. In 3, it was good, not perfect, but it was good. The only thing that I would say kind of pissed me off, like without it being a nitpick, was that some characters kind of died with a wet fart. And it kind of annoyed me. Like, because sometimes you'd be like really anxious about who you take on missions in case something happened. And I think I said to you, finishing Mass Effect 2, Garrus died, and he just died in a throwaway scene. And I was like, I've had this guy
Garrus
with me like
is such a ledge.
All of Mass Effect 1, all of Mass Effect 2 now, and he just kind of like, he died in like a 8-second cutscene.
They're like, he fell down some stairs in the ship.
Literally, that's what it felt like, yeah. And literally, Shepard was like, "No, Garrus, no," and that's it. And we never hear it. And that's it. Like, I'm like traumatized, like crying my eyes out. And it's like, I don't understand. Like, why is the universe not reacting to this in the same way that I am? And the same thing happened in 3. Like, you got to the very end of the game, and one of the characters that was even like a romantic interest was like died, and the scene was just like, "Our car fell on your head. Guess you're dead now. Sorry." And Shepard's like, "Damn." Anyway, on with the mission, and it was like kind of just a bit annoying. I mean, it wasn't dreadful, but it was just a bit like annoying. It wasn't satisfying, and I guess maybe that's the point. But
well, I don't know. It's kind of weird because they obviously put that in there to make some kind of emotional response out of the player. Otherwise, why bother killing off the characters like that, right? So if they do it and then it's not getting the emotional response from you or the response it should be, then it just seems half baked and they just threw it in for like kind of no reason.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so I think some of them felt like a compromise due to the fact that there are different characters that you can have with loads of different dynamics and relationships. So like that could be what that exact cutscene I saw could have been swapped out with a different character, and it would have been exactly, and they couldn't have any personal dialogue in those closing moments because of that.
Yeah,
and maybe they could if they had more time. But everybody knows like Mass Effect 2 and 3 were churned out quite quickly. Somehow they were still incredible games, but like it's one of those things that I think it was one of those compromises, and that just does like damage the score a little bit for me because I was like, man, like those could have been like really heavy hitting moments. You know, if I think about other like character death moments across some of my other favorite franchises, you know, it's been like, holy shit, you know, you don't get over it for like a week. And it wasn't really like that. I was like, oh man, I can't believe they're dead. I can't believe they died like that. Why did that just happen? Like, I'm like angry. So that's like my only real big gripe. Other than that, I'm so glad I got to play that, and it sits comfortably at the top, like up there with some of my favorite franchises. And as I said, I'm just I'm grateful that I got to play it. You know, as much as it's EA, I'm glad that they took the time to go and remaster this, because I wouldn't have gone back and played this without all the upgrades, because I didn't actually know, but having now watched a couple of videos on the things that were offered, there was a lot of like streamlining for things that otherwise were sounded pretty gross to like navigate around. And I will say the game has a bit of an issue with like telling you where to go. There's no like map or like the navigation system. You just have like a list of shit to do, and it just tells you like the planet and then the name of the mission, and sometimes you have to like, you're like, where the fuck is that? And it's kind of just not what it says on the
Yeah.
journal isn't represented on the galaxy map. So sometimes you have to like read the description and try and figure out what it's like they don't match, which is really stupid. That was a bit of a nitpick as well, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I guess that's just kind of a bit more. I don't want to say old school RPG, but not new age RPG. Because new age
Yeah,
RPGs these days just hold your fucking hand. Every single one of them has a navi being like, "Go here," and you're like, "Well, I want to pick up this sword in this cave," and they're like, "Go here." You're like, for God's sake, man.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they definitely do hold your hand a lot more. So
definitely.
yeah,
I just and it wasn't even a problem though. It wasn't even like necessarily a lack of hand holding. It was just I didn't feel like the communication was clear, because there were times where like it told me to like essentially like look, and I found it and I was like, oh cool, that was gratifying, didn't take much time, I'm okay with that. But then other times what it said on the galaxy map wasn't reflective of what the mission was telling me to do, and so I like glossed over it. I was like, that's not that mission, that can't be that one. So anyway, but yeah, overall amazing, glad I got to play it. Super happy, totally recommend it if there's anybody out there who hasn't played Mass Effect at all like me. Really, this is the only sci-fi epic game I can think of that I've really ever played, like a big sci-fi game. I can't think of anything like Destiny, I guess, but like single player, like single player RPG.
yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I guess maybe like Dead Space is kind of sci-fi, but I mean, not that I played it, but it's horror-y as well. So
yeah, it's very horror. I mean, remake coming out for that, am I right? So
yeah,
not even a remaster, a remake. So that's pretty shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
But yeah, cool, man. I'm glad you enjoyed Mass Effect so much. And the question is, Andromeda.
It's not off the cards. If it's on Games Pass, I'll probably give it a go. I know some people say it's not as bad as people say it is, because the universe is generally very cool. This universe is really well written, and the gameplay is kind of fun as well. So if those elements transfer over, then
I think they kind of. I think that's kind of where it shined most. Was it had a lot of jankiness and a lot of bugs, but I think a lot of people did say that the combat was improved quite a bit in Andromeda. It was a lot more. It kind of felt like an action game, like built into an RPG, rather than having a bit more slower paced combat. So it's always been one of those games which I've kind of wanted to try, Andromeda, but and I'm guessing it's completely separate, obviously, because Shepard's just we ain't seeing Shepard again. Bye, Shepard. So I don't even know who you play in Andromeda.
From what I understand, it's like in a different different like galaxy altogether. So it's like not connected at all. The time period.
Well, it's in the Andromeda galaxy. That's why it's called Andromeda.
Yeah, but it's not like it was a place you could go in the Mass Effect trilogy. And
I think it's completely separate, but just same universe.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I don't know about the time period. I don't know. I think maybe it's in the distant future or something. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a prequel, but either way, it's just like same universe, but totally different set of characters and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So not
maybe at some point I'm just no priority. I'm kind of like I feel happy and content with where I left the Mass Effect universe, so I'm not kind of urging to rush back in. And there are some other games like I've been wanting to play like a slightly quicker pace game for a while. Death's Door feels a bit like that, decent segue, but also I wanted to play Wolfenstein, so that's probably going to be my next thing.
We need to move on to the Ascent as well. We need to play that.
Yeah, we do need to play that. Yeah, don't have anything to speak about with that just yet, but yeah, for sure. Yeah,
nice. Man.
So that's that. Yeah, so I'm glad. I'm sure everyone's glad that I can stop bringing that up every episode now. But super happy. It's done. It does feel like a journey. 3 was so much bigger than the other ones as well, but fucking awesome, man. Fucking awesome.
Nice.
Death's Door. So you haven't presumably touched Death's Door since we last spoke about it. Is that right?
That is correct. So I think I'm still further than you, judging from where you are.
Do you have a hammer?
You did play it last night. Well, I don't know. Maybe not.
A hammer, do you?
That's down to exploration. Do you have daggers?
I think so. Yeah, I got daggers.
Fuck. A lot of them you can find just exploration. So
I guess so. I guess you could miss them, but
I've got the first big SAR when I moved on to the one after that.
yeah, same.
Okay, so
I have the
you're
third
very
spell.
equal to me. Maybe a bit more. Oh, okay, maybe you're a little bit, maybe you're a little bit
The
further.
bomb spell. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Spoilers. Jesus, dude. Um. Yeah, man. It's definitely obviously as I said when I brought it up a few episodes back. I did really enjoy it. And obviously one of my main I don't want to say gripes, but I praise the level design and the art style. Um, and just the overall like universe is kind of interesting and wacky. They don't really explain anything to you, and I think
It's quite
that's
charming as well. It's quite kooky and
yeah.
charming.
I think it's quite intriguing the fact they don't explain it to you. They're just like there's birds everywhere. You know, you're reapers. You collect souls. You do stuff like you age when the doors are open, and you're like, okay, I still don't really know what's going
Sounds
on,
good. Yeah.
but it's kind of intriguing, which is quite good. It's quite hard to pull that off because a lot of people would just be like what's going on? You know, you need to explain this stuff to me. There's a fine line between it being annoyingly vague. Oops, hit my mic. Annoyingly vague and intriguing and charming. And I do think it slides over to the latter.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, the combat for me was obviously just a little bit basic, which I do think will expand as you get more spells and you get more stuff.
Yeah, I've got to say,
But it,
I haven't really been finding that. I haven't
but
been finding it doing that at all.
it's just nothing you haven't seen before, right? It's very
I mean,
similar to any game in that sort of genre. It's not, but
I
it's not
mean,
a bad thing. It's still crispy. It's still good. It's just not inventive, so to
yeah.
speak.
I mean, I guess yeah. It's smooth. I mean, what's
Innovative.
made it more interesting is that the enemies are good. The AI is good. Like they
Hmm.
force you. Like you can't just sit there and spam away. Like some you have to go one hit and get out, sort of thing. Others you
Yeah.
have time to charge up and get bigger hits on things like that. So yeah, I don't know. I guess, and I found, like I said, I actually have 4 weapons now. So I mean, one of them is a bit of a throwaway. But like, so I don't know. I feel like I haven't been sat with the same stuff. Like I said, I have 3 spells now, which you can switch between it whenever you want. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. And some like for example the daggers. So like when I had that, I was starting to put more points into haste for quicker attacks, and obviously you build your magic up based on attack. So like I was going for like a bit more of a magic build at the time,
Mm.
but now with this next weapon, it's slower. So now I'm like,
Strength.
it's like less hit, slower but stronger. So now I'm like, I don't really want to do that. So it's like changing the way I'm like approaching encounters. Because I can build
Mm.
less magic up. So yeah, just stuff like that. So I don't know. I guess I'm not finding that. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, like it's not like an evolution of isometric combat mechanics, but it would only become a problem to me if this dragged on, which I know it's not. Well, I'm not getting the feeling it's going to.
Yeah.
If this was like
But
a
I think we
30-hour
can
game,
13.
30. If it was like a 30-hour game, I would be
Oh, I
like,
thought you said I was like, it's not a 30-hour game. I was like, dude. I was like,
you know,
where'd you read that? Um, yeah, but I mean, I think we can both agree that the level design is top
immaculate,
notch. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's like
immaculate.
it's you see what I mean when I said it's like an isometric Dark Souls, isn't it? Everything's interlinking and you create shortcuts as you go and you go back to
Yeah,
places and stuff like that.
it is in terms of the map design, but it's very like Zelda, isn't it? It's very Zelda.
Yeah. The puzzles are very Zelda and stuff like that. Yeah, they're simple but effective, and still satisfying when you do them.
Yeah,
A lot of the
I
puzzles.
found that like definitely like a lot of the puzzles my IQ is shot up like at 50 points at least. Like I do it and I'm like, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. There was one where there was like there was stuff in the reflection that wasn't in the like of the water. I don't know if you ever saw this one because this was a while back. I think it was in the
Mm.
grove at the beginning or the garden. I can't remember, but there was like stuff in the reflection of the water, but not there. And it's one of the things you had to shoot with an arrow. And I did it, and it worked, and it was brilliant. And then there are other ones where you like go. into parts that are like obstructed by the camera angle, then the camera like rotates and you can see a different part of it, so you can, and things like that. And I'm like, those are just really neat because it just encourages you to like explore little nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I think the puzzles are like, I kind of wish there were more of them. There's not loads, but there's enough that when you get one and they're clear enough that when you solve it, you're like, I'm an intelligent lad.
Yeah.
I can figure this out.
They're effective and yeah, just satisfying. And they're not annoying as well. Like, I haven't found myself sitting there for like a solid like 15 minutes, like, what's going on? Where sometimes I have found that in Zelda where I'm just like, what? And I'm just like, really? That's what I had to do? You know, I haven't really felt anything. I haven't felt cheated by a puzzle yet.
Yeah.
Every time I do complete one, I'm like, oh, that was neat, and it makes sense, you know, like, but yeah.
I do think that at some points this game falls into a bit of a problem, like a Metroidvania puzzle problem, which is, it's fine. It handles it fine because some games don't handle it well, where it's like you can't tell if this is something you can figure out right now or if this is something you just need to come back to later. And I like that can get a bit annoying when you're like running, you're like slapping everything, like surely I can get this now. But you can't. It's actually just you need to come back when you have an item or a piece of equipment for later. And I think Zelda can do that. There have been places where this has happened, but they've tried to make it very obvious that I can't come back to. I can't do it right now. So yeah, I'm glad that that hasn't happened because that really annoys me when that's the case. And fuck the End Witch.
I'm sorry.
Fuck the Urn Witch.
Oh, is it the N Witch?
Fuck the Urn Witch.
Fuck the Urn Witch. Yeah, she's creepy, isn't she, man?
Why does she just stand in the shadows?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Where sometimes you just walk into a room and you don't notice her there, and then you're like,
she's huge,
and she's just there. Yeah, she covers up like half the room, but I didn't notice she was there.
Like, she's just still, just standing in the corner.
Yeah.
It triggers my megalophobia. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very weird. And yeah, what do you think of the music?
Good, also immaculate. Yeah, I'm absolutely fantastic. I like have been playing because I've been off sick. I've been like just playing games at night when Beth goes to bed, and she kept saying like, "Oh, can you play Death's Door?" Because she likes to, like, she finds the music relaxing. So yeah, but it's
you haven't felt it felt quite oppressive yet.
Oppressive.
Yeah, that was one of my comments before. I just felt like the music just went on and on and on, and sometimes there was no like lapse in it, like calming down. It was just like kind of. Like, I guess there are like just going constantly.
Yeah, I guess there are like segments where there's like lots of combat and it doesn't stop. Like it just keeps going until you've gotten through. But no, I kind of like it. Gets me amped.
Yeah. Oh no, it is good. It is a fantastic soundtrack. Like I'm not taking anything away from it. But yeah, no, I definitely need to go back to it. It's good. It's a good game.
Annoying nitpick.
Mm-hmm.
So heart containers. Yes. Heart containers. What would you say is a good amount of heart containers until you get your full heart? You know 3. Exactly what I'm talking about. 3, yeah, okay, right. It annoys me that it's 4 in this game.
Yeah.
This annoys me a lot. Because 4 is a lot. It's a lot, isn't it? And it's just like you get one and you're like, oh sweet, look at this massive puzzle I've done. Like I've got to sew up my way to do this. And again, they're like, well done for getting you found the super mega secret shard of the Crystal Palace. You know, get 3 more of these and we'll give you a slight improvement on your health. And it's like...
You're 25% the way there, buddy.
I thought this was something that, like, Ori and Will of the Wisps was good. It just takes 2 for everything. For, like, mana or health, you get 2 of them. So, like, you're always one off, like, something happening. You're, like, one off, oh, boom, like, I'm halfway there. Or one off, oh, I've got something new. 4 is just too many, I find. It's just not rewarding. Like, I do the whole thing and I'm like... Right. Whatever. Yeah, so it's so far away.
I kind of know what you mean. I when I saw that pop up as well, I was literally just like, oh.
Okay. So I'm going to get one of these in the entire game, am I?
Yeah, so I was like, I
Yeah.
guess I look forward to that one extra health hit in the next 4 or 5 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, like
Like
at
if I'm
least.
lucky, like yeah, right near the end of the game, I'll have one extra heart. Nice.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like all off the beaten path stuff as well. So like you don't find it by accident. It's stuff you've really got to work for to try and make sure you're uncovering it all. So yeah, that does annoy me, but it's whatever. That is a nitpick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking I'm having a great time. This is like comfortably 8.5 out of 10 at the moment. I imagine that'll go up because the first boss was really fun. I'm liking a lot of the bosses. I'm dying more than I think I'm supposed to. I don't know if I'm just bad at this.
I've died quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm. Yeah, so I mean, I get impatient with these sorts of games, and I just think it's like don't be greedy. I don't know why, because my Dark Souls brain should kick in, but it just hasn't been. I don't know why. I get it's not as punishing. I think that's probably why. It's not like I'm risking all my souls or the currency, which looks like a little butt in the corner.
Yeah. You know who I died a lot to was that weird that knight guy with the big sword or hammer, and he jumps off a ledge.
Yeah, and he just like fucking
Yeah.
smacks. Yeah,
Yeah, because he just tracks you. He's got such
yeah,
late track. You have to do like a fucking frame perfect roll, or he just follows you with his hammer and still hits you.
yeah.
And I died a lot to this spinny pot, like little mini boss as well, where he's like bouncing off all the chairs inside the Witch's Urn's castle.
Oh yeah, with like the
Yeah,
chandelier.
I
Yeah,
died a couple of times to him. But yeah, that
he's a
night was
bastard.
really pissing me off at one point. That
Yeah,
big boy.
he did have some weird. He's one of the only bosses so far where I've been like his tail isn't very good. Of like when he's going to attack, but
No,
for
yeah,
all the
it
Hammer
was.
boys, they attack like twice and then they stop.
Yeah, but he sometimes I was
So
like, I got his attack pattern down. I was like, it's three. It's always three. And then sometimes he did a fourth, and I was like, it's AI. this is AI.
yeah, I know
Like
what you mean.
it's reading my input and it's adapting. Like I don't like
Yeah,
this. I was
yeah,
convinced that thing was real.
yeah. I definitely know what you mean.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's have you gone against the guys, the tongue boys with eyes for
yeah,
shields?
I have. Yeah,
They
they're
give me a right fucking hard time to begin with.
yeah, but they're then I found out they're actually stupidly easy.
You just batter through their eyes. I didn't know you could do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. They just sit there and you just it's really easy. And you just hit their little green fucking spit back at them. They're loogies. They're really easy.
Yeah, as soon as I figured that out. But I find that there's a lot of stuff with this game, which is kind of like I kind of like, but I think it can be quite inaccessible. That there's no like tutorial or guide for it. You just kind of like good fucking luck, figure it out.
Yeah,
Like one of the things was the vents to go underground,
yeah.
where you like jump off high and you do like a ground pound and you like go
Mhm.
underground. Like that was never explained to me. I did that by total accident. I was like, oh, so
Yeah.
things like that. But yeah,
But yeah, no, it's good. It's very good.
it's good
We
stuff.
we
Yeah,
both
it
we
is good
both
stuff.
recommend.
Absolutely, absolutely, it is the good stuff.
Mhm.
I okay. Well, I mean that's great. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on before we move on to the
Uh
news report?
no, let's move on to the QR news report. I think that was a decent enough little intro, a little weekly thing
Yeah,
from us, mainly you.
that's it. That sounds great. So, I wanted to start this week. I think this was somebody had spoken about this a few weeks ago, but I didn't want to bother putting it in the notes for the show. But it's regarding a Halo Infinite Battle Royale mode. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, and so I mean, this has been like commentators have had all sorts of hot takes about this for like years now. Like not since Halo has been revealed. Does Halo Infinite need a battle royale to be competitive? It's the in thing. Oh, Halo Infinite is multiplayer is free. Should it like leverage that and things like that? And there has been a rumor, and there's also been maybe there has been. So, sorry, I'm trying to word this right because I know there's been spoilers that have been around, and I don't want to say anything that would give off the impression that I'm giving you a spoiler, which I'm not. We'll just leave it at rumors. There's just been rumors that maybe there's a battle royale mode, maybe in the works or maybe not. The thing is, I don't know. Like a lot of people have said that the tools will be there to create a Forge BR. I don't know if there'll be one natively made there, at least not a launch. I could see them making one in the future. But like the team 343 are on record saying that there's no BR. Like the only BR in Halo Infinite is a battle rifle. Ha ha ha! Funny joke, but like it's not.
Nice.
Like they've said that, so like I just don't know. Is there? Do you think? This is my question to you. Do you think there should be a BR? Better yet, do you think there needs to be a BR in Halo Infinite?
I don't think there needs to be. No. I think there could be, and I think there's space for it at some point in its life cycle. But right now, I'd rather have them focus on the campaign and the multiplayer that makes Halo what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, the arena style multiplayer that we don't get much of these days as well. Let's be real. So you know, I don't want them to put resources into it right now. Like, sure, if the game for whatever reason is feeling stale later in its life cycle, give us a BR mode. I'll play it. Sure, Halo BR, nice. But no, it doesn't need it, and I don't particularly want it. But if it was given to me when I've kind of stopped playing the game and it's kind of fizzled out, maybe, I don't know if that will be the case, but then great, you know. Fantastic,
Yeah.
but don't focus on it. You don't need anyone.
Yeah.
I
Don't compromise the core of the game.
Yeah, I don't even want that one guy that just gets everyone coffee in the morning. I don't even want him to focus on BR. Just have him keep doing coffee runs.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Every morning when he comes in with everyone's a latte, he's like, "So, how far are you guys into doing the BR?" Shut up, Jimmy. We haven't started it. We're not doing it.
God's sake, Jimmy, you're the only one that wants a BR. Just tosses his coffee on him.
Yeah. Go get me another.
Yeah, it's no, I don't want it.
You don't want it.
It's basically
you don't want
what
it.
I'm trying to say. No,
You don't want it for now.
No.
Yeah, and I think I'm with you there. I don't. If it's gonna be there down the line, by all means. But I don't even want to see this in the first 6 months. I think like Halo just needs a bit of breathing room to be Halo. You know, let the purists sink into it. Let everybody like remember why Halo is popular. You know, from what we have seen, the community reactions, and even from what we said here at the Quick Resume Podcast /YouTube/Quick Resume Podcast.com. It's Halo feels good, man. It feels really good. It can stand on its own two legs. Other arena shooters exist. We've got Valorant. We've got I can't think of any others. That's it. Just Valorant.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, they're still going. Like, so, you know, are they as big as the BRs? No, but it doesn't have the same prestige attached to it that Halo does. So
yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think I don't know, and it's hard for me to sell you on it because I mean, really, you'll have to, and I don't just mean you. I mean you, the audience, as well. We'll have to play it to see what I mean when I say I think it has a good chance of getting back in the market because of how good it feels. And you know, we've only seen a tiny little itsy bitsy slice of it with the 4v4 arena. And they opened like in the last, I don't know if we spoke about this, but in the last hour of the flighting, they opened it up to PvP. So people were playing people.
Oh, okay.
And that
no, we didn't speak about that.
Yeah, that all seemed to go fine as well.
Cool.
So that's not including, you know, the other game modes. You know, BTB is meant to be a big focus for this. And, you know, anything else, but there has been, you know, you can imagine like the thematic, how thematically awesome it could be to have ODSTs or like your Spartan dropping in ODST pods. You know, that just works. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, the thing is, like, I feel like that's where the connection to Halo and Battle Royale kind of ends. Like, I don't know how they make it work other than that. Like, because the game isn't designed around it. So, like, and the movement does feel good. I guess you just make smaller maps, but, like, do you pick up loot? Like, power weapons? Do people drop loot when they die? I mean, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, but, I mean, you could say the exact same thing about when we were playing Titanfall. Titanfall was a class-based loadout sort of game, and then they turned it into a BR that you could pick up loot weapons. You could pick up weapons off the floor. Sorry, and I don't know. Yeah, they kind of just made it work, but you wouldn't have thought they could have made it work. Right?
I don't know. I think, to be honest, I feel like it's a bit different with Apex because they literally made Apex from the ground up. Like, yeah, they started as a Titanfall 2 DLC, but it was like made as a battle royale. But I guess like the counterpoint is something like Fortnite, for example, which was not a battle royale, and then that became a battle royale. So I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they could. I guess I'm struggling to think of how it would, because I guess I'm just so used to Apex where like battle royales are high mobility, but Fortnite isn't a high mobility game. COD
No.
isn't either. Warzone's
Well.
pretty popular. PUBG fucking like controlling a piece of wood, so that's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I just don't. I'm just struggling to visualize it. I guess is my problem.
I think I could. I think I could see it, and I do think there is space for it. As I said before, just not right now. Like it just, it just doesn't need to be
Yeah,
done right now. Halo is much of a household name and a brand to carry itself and bring back arena style shooters and stuff like that. It doesn't need it. It doesn't need to rely on it. It doesn't need this cash grab of having a BR. But it could be kind of cool and refreshing if they did one later in its life cycle, right? But
yeah, yeah. That's
doesn't
what I
need
mean.
to
I'm
be done right now.
definitely not opposed to it, but yeah, just let Halo breathe. Just let Halo be Halo for now. If
Mm-hmm.
it is real. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But that's news item number one. Um, up next, is there's been also this weird rumor floating around about the possibility of Bethesda opening a new studio, or acquiring a studio to do remasters. Um, and so this is from a Twitter user called Skullsy, and he or she have like a long track record of leaking Bethesda stuff. So they've got a fairly good track record. I mean, it's not perfect. No leakers track record is, but it's like generally pretty good. He doesn't have any direct source himself, but he's heard it from a couple of sources now, like a couple of different independent sources, and it's been corroborated by some other leakers as well who are inconsistent themselves. And also, Todd Howard is on record, like back in I want to say 2018 or maybe 2019, saying that he has really little interest in remakes or remasters, but things have changed. They're now owned by Papa Xbox. Todd Howard
Yeah.
isn't the CEO of Bethesda. He's just a dev. He's like the
Yeah.
lead design. So, and Todd Howard's studio, Bethesda Game Studios, is one of the 8 studios at Bethesda. Who knows? Maybe id do have an interest in remaking Quake. Maybe, there is another team that would have an interest in remaking Morrowind. So just things like that. So I mean, what do you think about that? What does Bethesda having a studio dedicated to remakes or remasters, does that sound appealing or like a good idea to you?
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, as long as it's not affecting, like you said, I mean, they've got a studio dedicated to doing these things, and it's not affecting them making new things like Starfield and stuff like that. Then sure, like I'm always game for that. Like there are some pretty cool games I'd like to see remastered. I'd like to see a remastered Fallout 3 or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know what that means in regards to like things like Quake or older Elder Scrolls like Oblivion and all that sort of stuff. These are all really cool games that like could benefit from having a remaster. And I mean, I'm guessing this all kind of stemmed from the whole Skyrim like 10th anniversary remaster and all that kind of stuff, right? I'm guessing that just sold really well. And did
Yeah,
and did and
maybe.
did the good, and then maybe they were just like, oh, if we we can do this and people still want these products, these
Yeah,
games even that far later in this life cycle.
I think it makes sense. That's the thing. I think more of anything, it makes sense. Reading the room, there's a lot of successful remakes going on at the moment, and there's
Yeah.
like a big movement around like upgrades because we're like in that cross-gen phase where people have consoles which are like substantially more powerful than last gen. So there's like, here's a big optimization patch. It's the same game before, but it looks a lot prettier, plays a lot better. Or also, here's like a huge remake of Demon Souls or Mass Effect or Dead
Mm.
Space. These games popping up all over the place, and they're seeing a lot of good success. Um,
But then
so
remakes are different to remasters.
yeah, for sure. But like remakes was, I think I did type that word as well. I think that was the tweet that was used. It was remake/remasters. Did I not use that word? No, that's what Todd
Use
Howard said.
remasters primarily, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So one or the other. But I think I think it would make sense if we're looking at like how even like something like Morrowind is like arguably the Elder Scrolls that like kicked the franchise into like um sort of a list sort of status. I know
Mm-hmm.
Daggerfall was quite big, but Morrowind was the one that really sort of kicked it off, and that was
Yeah.
1996. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't 1996. That was Daggerfall. Morrowind was 2002, and so 2002, like this is sort of, I feel like these, and like you said, maybe Fallout 3, which was what 2007 or something, 2008. These,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these games are like prime, like remake these or remaster them heavily so they look good. I'm thinking of like a Demon Souls to like on PS5 level of upgrade, and that's gonna
Oh yeah.
make it Xbox exclusive, and like that's and PC, and that's gonna sell like hotcakes.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I'd buy the shit out of a Fallout 3 that got a Demon
Same.
Souls remake look. Like that
Never
would look
played it.
amazing. Or and Morrowind. I was only 8 when Morrowind came out.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
never played Morrowind. Like
Neither have I.
I'd love to see that.
It's just
Get a
it's
really
easy
nice
money.
treatment. Yeah.
That's the thing. Easy money.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, if it doesn't affect future developments of new games and stuff like that, then I am all for it, man, because there are a lot
Yeah.
of titles here that I'd like to play that get a
Yeah.
juicy little remaster or remake. So yeah,
Yeah,
can't
I
be
guess
missed.
it's just quite interesting from like Phil's angle of like, okay, we have Bethesda now. Of the things we can do, of like we can afford to like change to like make money. One of the
Mm,
things definitely would come to your mind of like Bethesda have such a rich history of games. Let's get a team in to just literally remake them and pump us money. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing most of all. Whether it's true or not, I do think it makes sense. It definitely makes sense because they don't have a studio. This wouldn't be a studio for Xbox Game Studios remakes. It would just be for Bethesda remakes, which is kind of interesting
yeah,
as well. But
yeah,
yeah, we'll
yeah. No,
have to
I'm all
wait
for it.
and see.
I'm all
Definitely,
for it if it's real.
definitely, and of course, in 10 years' time, then we can have Skyrim again. So that
Oh my god,
that's really the selling
20th,
point.
the 20th anniversary of Skyrim. Jesus, put
Yeah,
that on my calendar. Can't wait for that day.
absolutely. Cool. So next up, we've got last week we spoke about the Idea Xbox show, which I didn't watch.
No, I mean,
I wasn't making the same mistake as last time, and that unfortunately it was in the same sort of format where it was like 90% Twitch users, like Twitch streamers reacting to like nothing. Not that there was anything wrong with what the streamers were doing. It's just the format made it impossible. Like they were shown like 30 seconds of an indie game, and then they had like half an hour to speak about it. Like, oh wow, I love the way that car drove. It's like, oh, cool. So yeah, but they did announce 22 games. 22 games that were either like new and coming to the platform, or were like coming to the platform for the first time, or coming to Games Pass, yada yada yada. So one of them was Stardew Valley coming to Xbox Games Pass.
cool.
They also showed off, I mentioned the game earlier, Art of Rally. I'm pretty sure they should have showed this before, but it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's like it feels a bit Forza Horizon-y, but like very cartoony and arcadey. And it's very relaxing. I was surprised actually. I just booted it up because there's this weird like Games Pass effect where if like I hear about an indie game enough and it's on Games Pass, I just download it and give it a go,
Mm-hmm.
just for the sheer variety of it. But yeah, that was kind of fun. I played that for like half an hour the other day. Some other notable games were, I can't remember actually. I've lost the list. Sorry, I had it up in front of me, but it's vanished. But you get the gist. They showed off 22 games, indie titles,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm sure we'll see more of in the sort of the coming months. But I hope they stop doing these sorts of shows. I think they need to stop doing this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I don't think I even watched the other one that you were talking about that you said was weird and followed the same format. So I haven't experienced one of these. Maybe I'll go on YouTube and sort of watch one just to see how awful this format really is.
You'll last like 45 seconds. It's
Really,
dreadful.
damn.
Yeah, it's really not good.
45 seconds is pretty good for me.
Yeah, it's good retention. Yeah.
Yeah, in more than just gaming.
And the only thing, it just. Go on.
I was going to say Stardew Valley is kind of cool. I've always kind of wanted to play that game. It really fucking. I don't really know what all the hype is about it. It's kind of a weird one for me.
Yeah.
And I always got confused between it and Terraria for whatever reason. But now I know they're weird things.
Yeah, they're just definitely.
They're very similar, aren't they?
Stardew Valley's like
no, they're not.
Like more like
Farmville.
It's not really Animal Crossing. Yeah, I guess it's like Farmville. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of cool.
So that's that. But yeah, I mean, we have obviously those games coming up at the end of the month. We touched on that last week. I don't think we have any. Do we have any stories for that this week? I don't think we do. But so I mean, we don't really know what they're going to be touching on at the end of the month. But we'll talk about it more as that happens. But the only thing, these idea Xbox shows just make me think, like, this is supposed to be a Mixer thing. Like when they were planning the roadmap a couple of years ago, like this was meant to be on Mixer and probably maybe different. You know, I don't get the impression it would have been done in exactly the same way because they're not. It's so weird because this isn't even Xbox's style. They don't do long shows. They do shows where there's like they have done shows like what were they called? What were those? They did like those yearly Xbox shows, and they did it in different places in the world. Something Xbox.
Is it like Xbox Now or something?
Oh, that's good. That's really annoying.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called though.
Bollocks. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, it's like, and those were like
Xbox
a bit
on?
pants. Not Xbox on.
What was it called?
What was it bloody called? Yeah, I can't remember. But the format for them was like a bit pants as well. Like, you know, there was way too much like giggling and joking around. And I guess I know it's more of a community thing than anything. Like that's fine. But I know the general community reaction, I guess is what I'm trying to say, to those was very like meh. This is like 10 times worse. this is like God. Just stretched out for hours and hours and hours and hours. And it's like, I don't know why they've done it like that. Anyway, whatever, we'll see. But I reckon they would have done it differently if it was on Mixer, perhaps, but may have made it more engaging. So I don't think we spoke about this, but Quakecon's happening soon. Did we speak about Quakecon? Did we speak about Quakecon before?
We didn't speak about Quakecon, no.
Right. Well, QuakeCon's happening soon. And this is happening on between the 19th and the 21st of August. So this week. Yep, this week. And there's nothing like immensely interesting. There were some fingers crossed that we might see some more Redfall, or we might see stuff from some other Bethesda studios that we hadn't seen. And there's more Deathloop.
Great. I mean, I'm happy for the game. It looks fucking great. But I'm also upset because it looks fucking great and I want it.
Yeah. The game's in a bit of a pickle because it's been delayed a few times now and I think people are starting to get fatigued of seeing it.
It has been trying to grab your attention. Exactly. I feel like it's actively trying now to the point it's annoying. Whereas before, when a video popped up on it, I was just like, "Oh, Deathloop, that's kind of cool." And now I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like it's getting a bit oppressive now. They're like trying to cram it down my throat.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be coming out like September, I think. So, and obviously, it's even more annoying for Xbox users because like, we're not going to see it for a bloody year. We're not going to see it until I don't know. Maybe it's even 2022. I can't remember.
I think it's just a year, but it was one of those things where I think it was kind of like inconclusive. There was nothing like a hard fact about it that we're getting it in this time period, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So there's things like, Fallout 76 updates, ESO stuff as well.
Hmm.
But there is in here um a Quake thing. A Quake thing. Um
Oh yeah. Let's talk Quake.
Let's talk
Oh.
Quake. Yeah, and so this a description that was up as spotted by the news team over at Xbox Era found a little description um, for an event that's happening on the 19th, which is a Thursday at 10:30 a.m. EDT. Sorry, I don't know the time in your in your time zone. I don't even know what time zone that is. It says Quake is back. In this special stream, John Linneman from Digital Foundry talks to to who? Jerk Gustafson of Machine Games to talk about the title's iconic legacy and what it meant to both of them. The pair will also discuss the additional content Machine Games have contributed to this revitalized edition. That
Oh.
description is no longer there. That's been
Uh-oh.
scrubbed. Yeah, so someone goofed. To me, what does that sound like to you?
A remaster.
Sounds like a remaster, doesn't it?
Yeah, the revitalized edition. Kind of gives it away a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds like they're kind of bringing back Quake. Well, actually, remaster or remake, you don't really know. Revitalized gives off the impression remastered rather than remake, right?
And this is how we get down the rabbit hole, the internet rabbit hole. What does revitalized mean?
I mean, to me, it sounds more like remastered than remake. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. So I guess I'm a bit torn because I mean like, even if we assume it's a bit of a nothing burger and it's just like, an up res, a couple of nice things and Quake on console, right? I don't think Quake's been on console, like maybe the original one. So how like Doom, the old Dooms came to console a while back and they look kind of nice, the old ones. And I imagine
Yeah.
worst case scenario, I reckon it's that. But why does it take two teams to work on that? Why are id and Machine Games working on that? Is that not a one-team game? Is that really that much of an undertaking?
Yeah. It's a bit
Also,
sus, isn't it?
it is a bit sus. And also, what are we talking about here? Like, are we just talking about like a res bump and like a frame rate boost, or are we talking about different assets? What level of remaster are we talking about here? Are we talking about a full-blown remake? Because and that makes me think, like, that's not, I don't think it's off the cards, but like, if that was the case, that's like a AAA reboot of Quake. That's a big deal. In which case, like, I don't think they'd show it here, even though it's Quakecon. Xbox still makes the final shot, and I think they're saying we want to show that off at E3, unless this is coming like imminently, unless this is coming like beginning Q1 2022 or something.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a bit torn. Like, so I reckon the answer is probably somewhere in the middle, where it's like a decent like remaster of the original Quake, where it's not quite just a resolution bump. There's maybe like some asset flipping and stuff like that, so it looks a lot nicer and plays well, and maybe comes to console. But it's not like a full blown remake, because that's a big fucking deal. Like, I don't think it's a AAA remake, of those proportions.
Yeah. I mean, I think even a remaster. I don't know if it takes two teams worth to do a remaster of this, but Quake's a pretty old game at this point. I imagine it will take quite a bit of work even just to remaster a game like that. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be more along the lines of remaster rather than full blown Demon Souls esque remake, which is still cool. It's still very cool. But
Yeah, it doesn't do anything in particular for me, but
it's not that hype, but it's still kind of cool.
But this could easily be one of those things where they're like testing the waters for any renewed interest in Quake.
Mm-hmm.
Like they re-release it and just test the waters to see if it's worth remaking. Because like the original one came out in '94. It came out in 1996 to a Metacritic score of 94. So this is one of those games which obviously helped shape first-person shooters as they are today, alongside Doom.
Yeah.
So there probably is space for a remake, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I just wouldn't get my hopes up for it. Otherwise, I feel like we would have seen Xbox plugging this more. You know, we'd see them on social channels. I know it's still like a week away, but this, you know, they would be platforming a big first party game, like, because presumably this would only be on Xbox and PC as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you'd like to
and
think
they're
so.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not. So, like, I just feel like this is kind of a nice side project that the team's been working on. They're like, oh, cool, well, it looks pretty good now. So it's just like a fun remaster of the original
Fan
Quake.
service
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. See how people like it. Like you said, yeah, testing the waters. Yeah, I do kind of think it's something like that. Yeah.
So we will wait and see. I so in oh, my notes are having a stop it. Okay, hang on. Something. So this was cool. Soon, you're going to be able to. You'll have XCloud on your PCs, your Windows PCs, not your Macs, unfortunately. Stream your Xbox to your PCs. Through the Xbox app. So, like on the Xbox app, there'll just be a stream to this device thing,
Yeah.
which is you'll be able to do it through the Xbox app, which is obviously quite nice because I can do XCloud at the moment, but I have to go through some backward ass like browsers to do it, which is it's fairly straightforward. But I think it's nice having it in the app. I really want this app on iOS, and I don't know why it isn't. Not iOS, I think it's on iPhone, but I really want it on Mac. I don't know why it isn't yet.
macOS. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably a lot of yellow tape to go through.
Yeah, maybe.
And obviously, it's a completely different operating system that runs on Mac and
Apple things
and iOS. Yeah, exactly. Apple things. I don't think they tend to make things quite difficult. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, to
and remote
stream
play
games to
as
your
well.
PC. You know?
Yeah, so it's like XCloud, but also on, yeah, but also remotely. Like, because you can do that anyway with XCloud, but it's now just nicely packaged in the Xbox app on Windows PCs. But I think remote playing was only a thing you could do on phones before, but now you can remote play to PC, which is nice. I actually use remote play quite often.
Okay.
So yeah. I would really like to be able to, because I can only use XCloud from my Mac at the moment, which obviously the library is kind of restricted. It's obviously not quite the same, not as good. Yeah, so I'd like to see this move for me. Like, I'd like to see it move over to the Mac, but like streamlining this stuff is always like really good. Currently, like the Xbox's like UI stuff has gotten a lot better over the last like few years. Like the store on the Xbox, their Xbox app, all of that stuff is getting a lot better. So I'm glad to see that all getting sort of streamlined more and more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just means you can play all these games without having a super high end PC and not playing them on your phone, right? You know, you could dust off a pretty crappy Windows laptop that you have, and still be able to play these things on a decent sized screen, portable, without really splashing the cash on some Alienware bloody laptop or something. Apologies, my camera just going crazy. It's like really bright.
I keep thinking there are aliens invading.
They're probing me.
It's spooky.
Let me see if I can just lower my blinds. But yeah, I mean, it's just making things like way more accessible everywhere. I feel like that's the route Xbox has been going down for quite a while now. It's really cool, man. It's nice to see.
Yeah. And as our last real news story for today, it's a bit of a weird one. I think maybe about 10 episodes ago, maybe a bit less, but there was like a big we spoke about it on the show that Xbox were investing in Timmy Studios.
Oh, finally.
Owned by Tencent. And they are obviously like a Japanese or Eastern-based studio, and they do a lot of mobile. They do a lot of work with mobile stuff, and we're like, I think we said at the time that this sounds like a big xCloud sort of investment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they announced just the other day that they have been making an Age of Empires game, like based on the Age of Empires IP, a game called Return to Empire, which is a mobile game. And it's a collaboration between Timmy and Xbox, and it's currently only in China. Um, and I was watching some of the gameplay of it. Honestly, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But this was kind of interesting, I thought, because there was like some other accompanying information around this, like the other journalists were given at the press release that basically said that Xbox were looking to expand on their IPs more and like their IP universes more. Um, and we've spoken about, I can't remember which studio is doing it, but there's a studio, there's someone supposedly working on like a spin-off game. I think it might be a game, Xbox game publishing game of one of an IP that Xbox has. So I mean, if this is like a start to that, I mean, obviously it's only mobile for now, and it's only China. But if this is what they need to get their foot in the door in China, so be it. Um,
Mm.
but it's just kind of interesting that like it's like canonically like it's the Age of Empires universe. Like it's just I find that fucking funny.
It is kind of cool, yeah. And it's quite interesting, like you said, that they're kind of maybe looking to take a deeper dive and make more spin-off games for existing franchises. I mean, they've done it in the past, haven't they? With they did the Halo Spartan Assault. That was mobile, wasn't it?
I think it was to begin with, yeah.
Yeah, and then they've done like
There's the Halo
would they
Wars,
would
Gears
they
Tactics,
yeah,
Gears
exactly. They're not
Pop.
all Gears Pop, yeah, exactly.
It's dead now.
Um, is it actually? Is it dead?
Yeah, it died.
Oh, that's sad. I thought it actually was kind of okay, or was I
It
wrong
looks.
about that?
I thought it looked quite good. I don't. I did watch a video about it the other day, and there was the dude I was watching was like kind of heartbroken. But I mean, I guess it just
Oh,
wasn't
damn.
catching attention. But yeah,
And I guess maybe you could put Elder Scrolls like Blades in there, but I mean, when that was released, we didn't have Bethesda and
is
under
it
our
still
belt.
going?
I think Elder Scrolls Blades is still going. Yeah, like I don't know. To be honest, I have never played
Fallout
it, but
Shelter.
yeah, Fallout Shelter. Yeah, so like we've done it in the past, and yeah, it's quite interesting to see it go down. Yeah, take an Age of Empires route and make a mobile game in that universe. Um, and hey, I've never been one for mobile games, but if they're done well, like, and I feel like Age of Empires does actually fit quite a nice mobile game sort of structure. To
Yeah,
to be honest, I could actually see it being kind of cool. And kind of working. I mean, for me,
definitely.
when I think mobile game, I always just think like maybe a game like this or like card games, something like that, like deck building games or something like that. I don't think FPS. I don't think anything like that.
No,
Obviously.
no,
So yeah, I think this kind of fits into that. And like you said, it does actually look kind of cool. I mean, mobiles these days are pretty powerful little pocket machines. So
yeah.
you can get quite a lot out of them. So nice.
Yeah, but if it pops up in your feed or anything, just have a quick look at the gameplay because I don't think that screenshot that we've got here in our notes like that looks fine, but like some of the
Yeah.
gameplay looked genuinely really good, which was kind of surprising. But yeah, it's a thing, it's happening, and this is part of I think Xbox's push to get a foot in the door in China, in Japan.
China. Yeah.
Yeah, and if they need to push into mobiles for now, they'll just have to see how it works. As wacky as the step may be, but yeah,
Well, I mean, mobile gaming is huge in China and Japan, isn't it? It's like
definitely,
I think it is the biggest, right? Or is
it
still
probably is.
PlayStation
No,
and
I think
PC?
you're right. I think you're
Like
right.
mobile is for whatever reason insanely popular in Japan and China. But
Yeah,
I find it very weird, but yeah. So yeah, it's a good way to get your foot in the door, like you said.
yeah.
So
We'll see how it goes because I know a lot of people get pissy about stuff like this. Like the second mobile is mentioned, people like lose their shit. But
oh, I remember when Diablo was fucking teased, and they were like, "It's on mobile." Everyone just wanted to like just throw bottles on the stage.
yeah,
And Molotov
exactly.
them.
Exactly, and the problem wasn't that it was like the problem wasn't that it was a mobile game necessarily. It was that they teased a new Diablo game,
Oh God, I
and
don't
then
know
bait.
what they were thinking.
No, and then bait and switched, and then didn't even like give us an update on Diablo 4. They were just like, "This is it, bye."
Yeah,
And then they were like actively taking the piss out of the audience. That was the problem.
I don't
Like,
know what they were thinking. My goodness, that's like this whole lead up to like Halo Infinite, and then they're just like, it's mobile, like,
yeah,
and it's just like, what are you? Oh God, it's so weird that they did that, but it was
yeah.
kind of funny at the same time.
It's just expectation and PR mismanagement was the main problem. Like, yeah, like there's also an element of like reading the room. Like, I think you have to expect that people aren't going to be as enthusiastic. Like, you're a company that traditionally makes PC and console games. Like, of course, your hardcore audience that have paid thousands and thousands of dollars and
Yeah,
pounds of cash to come here and see you. Like, they're not going to give a shit about mobile. So when you come on stage and you
yeah,
announce that, and the enthusiasm is like lukewarm, like you should be expecting that. Like, you shouldn't be expecting
yeah.
a roar of applause.
Yeah, exactly. You can't come on stage backflipping and be like Diablo and mobile, and then just like try and hype up the crowd
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's just not gonna happen.
yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
But
So
yeah,
that's that. But yeah, so I don't think there is inherently anything wrong with it, and I think people need to remember that if you are one of those people and you are upset that this is happening, this isn't even like it's an Xbox game studio that's working on it. This is born out of a partnership, and also any money that comes out of this gets reinvested back into Xbox the division as a whole. So
yeah,
keep your knickers
exactly.
on. It'll all be good. We'll all be
Yeah,
great.
it's gonna fund our Apex Legends. Our mate, I'm
I
getting
wish.
withdrawal. It's gonna fund our Age of Empires console port. So shut
Oh
up,
my god, yeah,
let it
please.
happen.
Yeah. Have with a smile on your goddamn face. Oh, yeah. That's that, dude. We did it.
Cool.
That's everything. That's
We
everything that
did
happened this
it.
week.
Wow. Yeah, not too much, but it was interesting stuff. You know, it's like 4 or 5, pretty interesting stories. So
Yeah.
um
No, I
that was
think so.
cool. Yeah.
We've got when is fuck, I need to like just quickly check of when Gamescom is because it's not this week. I think it's the week after. I think I'm actually off work the week that it is.
Oh, okay. Are you
I
off
will be
for that
busy.
reason? Or are you off?
No. I'm off. I'm off for different reasons, but
Oh, okay. I was about to say I
I
might take a day off if you want to like watch it together or something.
but I mean I will be watching it, yeah. Oh, why didn't it just when you just Google something and the answer just doesn't pop up and it's like a real first
It's
world
the
problem.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than Googling something and yeah, the answer's not there and you have to click into a website to read more. I want it
Yeah.
in that little paragraph that Google
Yeah.
gives me at the top. That's
Yeah,
what I want.
I know, and it's so annoying because like as soon as you click on the website, you're committing to like ads and like loading
Yeah,
and like,
allow all cookies, and you're like, well, I don't want to click
oh my
more
god,
and then
dude.
select what cookies I want. So fine, accept all cookies.
Yeah,
Like, who does that? Who actually
such a
goes into
commitment.
more settings and chooses the cookies? Right?
I don't know.
They just
Nobody.
bank on people being lazy, man.
Yeah, tends to happen when you put a
Anyway,
lot of that roadblocks in someone's place. Fuck, God, this is annoying. It's 25th, so that's 10 days from now, which makes that next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday.
oh, that was the Psychonauts release as well. We were discussing that before
Oh
the show.
yeah. Well, there you go. That'll definitely be there. I think we said that last week, but that'll definitely be there. Yeah, updates and stuff. And I reckon they might announce some flighting, some more Halo flighting that week, but I don't want
God,
to
I
slide
hope
into
so.
Gamescom predictions. But yeah, I reckon there'll be some more flighting at the end of the month. There has been whispers.
Bloody hope so.
Yeah, me too. Man.
Actually play the game that I'm been looking forward to since I bought the freaking machine.
Such a
and before.
Yeah, and before. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. No, yeah, I want to be in the next flighting. 343, if I'm not in the next flighting,
yeah,
shit's gonna happen.
We'll wield our power. We'll contact our lawyers, our quick resume lawyers.
I'll go into
you'll hear from
Flight
us.
Sim and fly into your studios. I'll do
it. Yeah. Imagine it like just before the flighting, you haven't got your invite. 343 per hour tweet. Sorry, someone has flown a plane into our building. We'll be delaying Halo at least 5 years.
At least 5 years. The person's name.
His address is
irrelevant.
here.
Yeah. This is his address.
Please send letter bombs.
Feel free to approach however you want.
Jeez Louise. All right, shall we get out of it?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening today. Please follow us on Twitter. You can see our updates there on stuff and other funny pop references. And also, you can find this Spotify. No, you can find this podcast on Spotify. And other than that, we really just appreciate your time, your patience, and we look forward to speaking to you next week. Isn't that right, Tim?
Yeah. Yes, I'm counting down the minutes from this moment until I can speak to you again. Absolutely.
We miss you. We miss you all the time. Yeah.
We do.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Take care of yourselves. Keep gaming. And goodbye.
Bye.